Hi Taurus, Happy New Year. This is your forecast for the month of January 2017. This is a general reading for Taurus Sun, Taurus Rising, or Taurus Moon. If you have a different rising or moon sign, you might find watching those videos helpful or more informative for you. Please remember that these are general readings, and so they may not apply to everyone. If you would like a personal reading that is specific to you, please visit my website at thealchemistastrologer.com, provided on the link at the upper corner. If you have visited my site before, you'll need to clear your browser's cache for the schedule button to function properly. So Taurus, this first week of January, I really don't like this card. You are experiencing something that's not going as planned, possibly. So this could be a week where there's some bad luck or issues about someone taking advantage of someone else. You could be dealing with theft or duplicity on the part of someone. Maybe something is going on, behind the scenes. Somebody's trying to, do something illicitly or take a roundabout means of making something happen. This could even be something illegal, being robbed or ripped off. But there's a feeling of feeling cheated in some way, or, being defeated on some level. Now, there could be issues of unfaithfulness that come up this week. There could be issues of secret love affairs. Some of you're trying to get away from something, and you're trying to run away. You're trying to keep people at arm's length. You're being escapist or avoiding other people, or that's happening to you. Now, for others of you, and I hope this is the case, this could be a week of strategy where you're trying to outwit someone who has stolen from you. And you are meeting any challenges or tests with your intellect and strategic skill. Whatever the case is, this is a week where somebody is going to be put under the spotlight because of their integrity, their honesty, and that's going to be up for question. So you have to be careful this week about really being too quick to believe everything that people tell you. And you also need to be very cautious about what you're saying. So this is a warning card always. And it's telling you that perhaps you are wasting your time in some endeavor or with some connection. You're putting your money, your talent, your energy, your beliefs, your emotions into something that's not going to give you any kind of return, because somebody is giving you a false bill of goods. Now, for others of you, this is an escape card. This is, your key out. And it's going to be easy for you this week to very gracefully and diplomatically remove yourself from situations that don't have anything to do with you. If you hear gossip, just turn the other way. Now, for some of you, this is going to work in an opposite manner, where people who normally are not honest or upfront or forthright, for some reason, this is going to be the week where they are likely to tell you the truth, or they may keep a promise, or if there have been delays with appointments in the past, they may actually show up this week. So for some of you, this could be about simply relocating from one place to another. Maybe you are moving your residence, or you're going somewhere, you're taking a trip, or you're moving things. So it could be that you're moving from one place to another, and there's this activity. Now, if this is negative energy, this is something that on some gut level you probably sense and know. In fact, it could be occurring right in front of you. For some reason, you're choosing not to look. This card is not dark. It's yellow. It's full of light. So whatever is happening in broad daylight. The other person is feeling so comfortable that they're capable of getting away with whatever they're trying to pull off. They're not even bothering to hide. Now, for some of you, maybe this is connected to tying people together. Maybe you're trying to match people up. This is a 7 card, so this could be, in connection to relationships. And maybe you either get matched up with someone or you match someone up with someone else and the sparks just fly. For some of you, because you've removed yourself from pointless situations, you haven't wasted your time dealing with things that don't have anything to do with you, you're going to find that this is a week where you're actually ahead because you didn't take time, and direct it toward the wrong place. And so therefore, you moved further than you had anticipated. But at the end of the day, this is a warning card about being careful about your possessions, about your health, about your safety. And again, you are warned to be careful in your speech and what you're doing because something that you've said or something you've done could come back to bite you. So if you're planning on trying to deceive someone, that could backfire. Or if there's a deception that's taking place against you, that could come out this week. So make sure you stick to the facts. You don't exaggerate or distort or embellish anything. This is a week to be totally upfront, honest, on the table, because again, honesty is an issue and people are going to come under the spotlight. Now, this isn't to say if you're involved with something where you need to be strategic for you to lay out all your cards for the enemy, or your opponent. That's not the case. But this is, make sure that you act with integrity at all times this week. And if you are dependent on what someone else is thinking, what they're feeling, their opinion of you, that's going to be a draining influence that you need to get away from because it's going to, take your personal strength. It's going to chip away at your authentic self, your individuality, and it's going to keep you from effectively standing up for yourself if need be. Now, this is probably in some way related to the past, and it's having an influence on you. And for some of you, you're trying to get away, or someone's trying to get away from you, and there is difficulty moving on. The second week, we have a major card, and things are happening. And there is no escaping this week because something is taking place. There could be some rude awakenings, some shocking information, some kind of traumatic experience. Things could reach crisis point. But this is a week of major transformations. Now, some of you were trying to escape. This is the week that you're going to be free. You are released from bondage. You have received the get out of jail card. For others of you, there is something that has collapsed. It's caved in, and this could have been something that you felt was dependable, some structure in your life that you felt that was solid, or there could have been a false belief that you had, or this could be a week where if there were issues last week of theft, dishonesty, this could be a week where whatever has been corrupt is now going to be destroyed. Now, for some of you, this is going to play out in ways like divorce or bankruptcy or problems with your property. Hopefully no kind of natural disasters. This could be a separation or some kind of disturbing news, something that is disruptive to you. This is pressure that can no longer be contained. So this is probably something that has been building for some time now and has hit critical mass. Hopefully this is nothing health related where there's, something that comes on suddenly like a stroke or some kind of attack. If this were a relationship, which maybe this was a secret relationship because you had the Seven of Swords, this could be, something. Oh, and again, if there was some matchmaking taking place, this could be electricity flying between you and another person, great chemistry, something electric, like a bolt out of the blue, love at first sight, if you believe in that. Now, for others of you, this is going to play out, maybe with anger. There's an argument, or you're dealing with someone aggressive, or you're being challenged or traumatized in some way. Whatever the case, these situations, there's a meaning behind it. All major cards are karmic. And so there is a lesson involved in whatever is taking place this week. This is saying that it's time for you to rebuild upon the ruins that have taken place this week. Because there was something that you were dealing with, some aspect of your life that was holding you back. You had become stagnant in an area. You weren't able to make the most of yourself and may not have even realized the chain and ball that something had become for you. So this is your week to let go of things that perhaps you still want, but you just don't need. And it could be very challenging for you. Now again, hopefully this isn't a health warning because, maybe you've been avoiding doing what's necessary for your health, whether that's taking your medication, changing your diet, getting more exercise, following the doctor's orders, having a checkup in a timely manner. Whatever it is, that could become a problem this week. Also, you may be too rigid, too emotionally controlling, and that's why things are exploding. And so this is saying be flexible. It's time to make some changes. And you could have to strike out on your own to make those changes happen, whether that's professionally or with your resources or emotionally. But ultimately, you're going to gain because of it. This is going to be a week where if you had any self-doubt, you put that away and you're able to claim your own personal power. In fact, some of the shocking revelations could come from you. You may say some things that take people aback. And this is a time for things to come out and to come out into the open. And so you like knowing where you stand with the situation, because obviously knowing where you stand is going to allow you to regroup and make the changes that you need to, that's going to provide you with a sense of security and a continuity and peace of mind. So you're either going to be issuing a statement or you're probably going to hear something that you don't like. And you, again, may be trying to hold on to a situation that's not good for you. You may be trying to convince yourself that it is because you want it so badly. Maybe you are, maybe you're avoiding and being escapist and keeping people at arm's length and only giving them, maybe your strategy is to give them just enough, to keep the game going, but not really what they need to know. You're piecing out bits and pieces of information. You're being vague. But what's going to happen is it's going to create a misunderstanding. Now, either you're doing that or that's being done to you. Also, obviously, when we have things happen to what we feel or to us, sometimes we feel as if we are victims, but you're not a victim. Whatever happens this week, you are not a victim. In fact, on some level, you probably were a willing participant. And maybe that's because you were avoiding some things, or you were trying to escape from a situation. There was something that you didn't want to deal with, or something you were investing your time with that was a waste of time, and on some level you knew it. So you had a hand, or you have a hand in what happens this week. And so this is a week for you to come to terms with the cold, stark reality of a situation and accept that there are some things that you cannot change and you have to accept. So for some of you, this is exhilarating. This is a new change. Maybe there's a new lifestyle. Maybe you changed your residence, got a new job. You decided there's going to be a new me. And this is the beginning of the year. This is a great time to do that. So for you, this could be about gratification and enjoying life and abundance. But for others of you, there is an explosion occurring. Something is falling apart because you're trying to hold on to something. You're clutching hold of something that's no longer serving you. The third week, you're dealing with water energy. So this could be a Pisces, a Scorpio, a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or rising, male or female, or just the situation uses the characteristics of this king. So this is someone who is very intuitive, very creative, very emotional. In fact, this is going to be a week of emotional matters, dealing with emotions, and probably emotionally oriented people. This could be someone who is a helper or who consoles or is a good listener, someone that, works in the helping profession or psychological professions in some way. This could also be a week of invitations, visits, proposals, offers, and agreements. And so this week, you may be very intuitive. And in fact, if you are coming up with a strategy for something, you may have gotten a bolt of inspiration, a great idea, and you're coming up with a strategy. And this is the week where you are able to outwit your opponent, largely because you've got that psychological know-how to get past a person. Or if this is about love, you know what to do, what to say, how to be to win the object of your affection or your heart's desire. So this could be a week where you're feeling confident, you're riding high, you're focused on your success and recognition, or there could be some emotional things going on. You've gotten some rude revelations that have come into the mix, and this is a week where you need to love yourself, appreciate who you are. The final week of January, we have the Hanged Man. And so this is an important week. The Hanged Man, whatever has happened, it appears now you've gained some insights and now you've taken a fresh look at something. You have a new perspective. Perhaps you're changing your mind about something, or you're trying to change someone else's mind. That could be the strategy where you're trying to win something or beat the opponent. You're trying to change their mind. This is going to be a week, though, where things things are slowing down. There could be some things hanging in limbo, some loose ends. It's like a slowed action or things suspended. Again, you may have gained some enlightenment, some spiritual attunement. You may be trying to adapt or this focus on breaking away from the past. There could be some readjustments. Some of you are going to decide to make some voluntary sacrifices because you realize there's something bigger at stake than what you want. So you may be surrendering to the opposing party or giving up your own personal will. For some of you, you are making adjustments. There's been something unexpected in the domestic or career arena that you're having to deal with. This is a testing period and there are lessons to be learned. So this is all about, being a martyr versus being selfish, knowing when to give and when not to. So if you can remain objective about whatever has happened, you're going to be able to make solid success just by changing your perspective about a situation. And you're going to be able to make peace with what is currently happening as well as the past. And this is going to allow you to reevaluate your future to move forward. It's going to give you a greater sense of clarity. But this is not going to come without some patience and some perseverance on your part. This could be a week, depending on what you do, where it's going to be easy for you to be more realistic now to achieve your goals and maintaining a peace of mind and a certain sense of tranquility is going to allow you to move through any setbacks or delays that are now occurring. And again, because integrity was highlighted, especially with the Seven of Swords card, if you remained honest and you acted with integrity, even if the other person is trying to make you feel guilty, you'll know that you shouldn't. So this is a week where you need to be very discerning about the sacrifices that you're making. Are they worth it or are they not? Or you being a martyr for a cause but really not accomplishing anything and you're not getting anything out of it? If you have any anxiety or self-doubt about yourself, if you're questioning your own motives and your own integrity, then it's likely you're going to follow the path of least resistance, whether or not you gain from that or it's good for the situation. And if you're repressing your emotions, you're going to hide your frustration about one thing, but it's actually going to come up anyway when you're dealing with something else, and you're going to take your resentments out on other people that really don't deserve that. So this is a week for you to address those issues so that you can take the steps to move in a better direction. Be careful, because you are very susceptible to falling back on old habits and old ways that are self-defeating. And whatever it is you're dealing with, the universe is asking you to maintain your composure. This isn't about being passive, however, but this is maintaining your equilibrium and moving through something. So this could be a week where there is some kind of reversal. And maybe this is for the good. Maybe there's some good fortune and you're manifesting something and there's some possibilities. Or maybe you're getting a new perspective because some things definitely need to be clarified. Now, this card has a strong connection to Neptune. So we are back in that area of confusion, uncertainty, the possibility for being deceived, for disappointment. Issues where there is a need for possible selflessness or compassion and sacrifice, but this is largely due to probably some kind of disappointment. Now, the underlying energy is the Ace of Pentacles. So the month holds a lot of promise. This is an opportunity, a windfall, a helping hand. And it's a stroke of luck that could fall into your lap out of the blue. But it could also portend some kind of a dilemma that ends up being a blessing in disguise as well. And this harkens back to that Tower card where you're holding on to something that really isn't serving you, and having to give it up, even though it hurts, is really in the end going to serve you. So this is going to be a month where you experience a lot of spiritual enrichment on some kind of level. But for you, the focus is probably on, your prosperity, having firm financial foundation, feeling, pleasure, both emotionally and materially. So you'll be looking for new opportunities. You could be starting something new. There could be some financial advantages coming to you, and you may be getting some recognition or promotion, or maybe you're involved in some kind of a career change. For others of you, something about your financial foundation is flawed, and that's why there's a collapse. Maybe someone offered to help you and now they're pulling the funds back, or maybe the income is delayed, or maybe you're not getting the payment that you had hoped for. For some of you, there's been some kind of misuse of money or possessions. The Seven of Swords indicates possibly even a theft or some kind of bad investment. You could be dealing with issues where there's greed or possessiveness or some poor choices, or maybe you placed all of your eggs in one basket. But for others of you, this is about the hard worker and opportunity, and you may have the opportunity to meet somebody new this month, and it's possible out of the blue when you're going back and forth, you may run across somebody that's intriguing. And this can be, in mundane ways, just when you're about in the neighborhood. You take a trip to the grocery store, you go to the bank, you stop and get some gas. Or maybe at your job, you change your work schedule and lo and behold, your partner is there. So, any number of ways you could be meeting someone out of the blue and unexpectedly. For others of you, you're making some big lifestyle changes. Maybe you are, trying to relocate. Maybe you're buying a home, or you're taking that vacation, or you're going somewhere, or you're getting a car. So the Ace of Pentacles is some new tangible beginning related to your finances and your emotional well-being. So you may have some good choices to either get something or retain something or recapture that sense of stability related to you materially and emotionally. Unfortunately, though, for some of you, this is going to be a month where your personal spending habits or too many professional obligations are going to play a role in creating complications in your relationships, or either the collapse of a long-term relationship, or even the breakup of some short-term, attraction that you had. So this could be a month where invitations, opportunities are on the table, socializing, a budding romance, and new acquaintance, opportunities, and the recognition that maybe you need to break out, break free, and get about, go different places, get out into the community. So situations are going to, again, depend on your mood, your attitude, how well you are able to deal with the situations that are happening to you and around you. And it's also going to be about getting clarity, getting clear about, any areas that need to be improved, things that you weren't sure of, so that you can nail down the details in order for you to move forward more efficiently in the future. There's a strong focus on, your work, productivity, producing some tangible results. This may have to do with, an offer of some sort, perhaps something that is life-changing. It could be in connection to property, a lifestyle, some revelation, and there could be opportunities to relocate, or you could be dealing on the dark side of a situation where somebody is not delivering what's promised, and there are shortfalls because of a lack of integrity, forethought, wastefulness. All right, Taurus, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I would greatly appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and kind comments. For those of you who have already offered your support, please know that I am grateful and committed to you. Make sure you watch your yearly overview for 2017. I hope you have a joyous January, and I look forward to speaking with you next month.